The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, Tablet 8, The Interpretation. Thoth had attained the power of mastership, and with it the ability to enter any interlocking world and there take on form, and also the ability to enter the inner spaces of the fourth dimension. In symbols, the keys of wisdom are found. Only those who search for the hidden meanings find the way, as he develops in consciousness, which is formless in the ultimate. Finally, he attains to that cosmic cycle wherein nothing material manifests in form. Thoth commands them to search out the mysteries of the inner earth and learn of the balance of earth, the pyramid of force, which is composed of essence of that force which causes atoms to cast off particles of themselves. Man must find the pyramid and stand either in body or projection before receiving its universal force. He commands them to enter the blue-lighted temple, which is the great hall of Amenti, where the seven sit. Man is both body and consciousness, but the consciousness, the flame, must absorb the body, earth. Only through striving can wisdom be found, hidden as it is within darkness. And yet, in that darkness, the essence of flame exists, and in this the true wisdom found. The kingdom of shadows was that octave of vibration in which were placed those brought from a lower cosmic cycle when the gateway was opened by man. This was in the third or Polarian cycle, and the delvers in darkness were men who loved material power rather than to devote their lives to spiritual things. The beings called up were formless, as only the consciousness was brought up, and bodies must be formed here. They, like the elementals, being separated from their own cosmic consciousness and its creative powers, were not able to combine with this cycle because they had not developed its primal curves. Only by the will of man and the extracting of spirit from blood could they take form. The masters drove most of them back through the lower gateway, but there were some who remained in the place built for them, coming forth only when the name was called and the blood sacrifice was offered. They took on the apparent form of man, but their actual appearance was the body of man or woman with a serpent head. They were able to cast a hypnotic glamour around them and appear to assume the features of men. It is this which forms the basis for the belief in the hypnotic powers of the serpent. They assumed the forms of leaders who were secretly slain, and gradually they and the men who called them took over the control of the nations. They had all of the appearance of men, but there was one word they were unable to pronounce. This was taught by the masters to man, and it became a law that every man who had office must pronounce this word before the people once each lunar month. If he failed, he was killed. This forced them to place among men, and gradually they were forgotten, but some still exist in their own place, unable to enter because man has forgotten the rites which summoned them. The word was Keninigan. The master of either white or black magic may summon them, but only a white master may have the power to control them. They rule through fear. Conquer fear, and you have gained light. Thoth states that he has been to Santal and even looked within the sixth dimension. They move only through angles and never through curves. The projected consciousness which tries to penetrate the sixth dimension will infallibly be attacked by the hounds of the barrier. Only by moving through space in circles can you evade the hounds. Only in the circle is protection. Return to the body if of no avail. However, one does not stumble upon them accidentally. Thoth had this experience in the past, and it taught him caution. He attempted to pass the gateway Santal, and the guardians came at him. He knew the law of circles and angles and evaded them, returning to his body and completing the protection. The hounds of the barrier do not literally devour or destroy the soul, but bind it from further manifestation until this cosmic cycle is completed. Then it may continue with the next cosmic consciousness. Even after completing his protection, he must be careful not to approach the sixth dimension in angular movement. Thoth repeats again and again his warning about movement through curves. He also tells them not to attempt to pass on Thoth before the time, for few have succeeded. He also tells how to recognize the guardians. Peace and blessings to you all.